Hey, what's up, guys? This is Marseille, aka the Property Pastor, coming at you one more time with another valuable video, teaching you how to unlock the secrets of wealth building through real estate investing and financial literacy. Today, I wanted to do actual kind of a fun video for you to share with you a game that the folks at RichDad Poor Dad have put out that I found to be very fun. I play it with my kids. It's a great tool that you can use to teach financial literacy to yourself as well as to your kids. It's a great game night type of event for those of you who like to do game nights and things like that. But it's something you can actually have fun at and learn a lot in the process. So I'm going to kind of just review that game for you guys and just talk about what it is. And like I said, I love it. It's something I love to play with my kids, and I wanted to kind of share it with you as well. So before we jump in, I want to remind you to like and subscribe to our YouTube page. In doing so, you're going to gain some valuable insight and get alerts and notifications of when we post new content that's going to help you to increase your financial literacy and to unlock some wealth building secrets. So here's just a quick picture of the cover, right? So here you can see. You see, it just says the name of the game is Cashflow, Get Out of the Rat Race by RichDad, which is Mr. Robert Kiyosaki. And the game retails for about 70 bucks. That's a little bit higher than your traditional Monopoly and things like that. And I know you're like, man, that's a lot. But how much did you spend on that pair of Jordans you got for Christmas? How much did you spend for that iPhone? How much did you spend for that, that new TV? Here is an opportunity to invest in yourself, to have some fun at the same time. And one of the things that I like about it most is that, kids play it. And it's rated, I think, for ages 14 and above. But I have a 9-year-old and she knows how to play. So, I think really, it's just a great tool. And we use it every day just to kind of make parallels. When the kids ask us for stuff, to buy different things, we're like, well, honey, is that an asset or is that a liability? Let me just jump into how the game kind of works. So again, the title is Get Out of the Rat Race, right? So the rat race is really what you and I what you and I go through every day, and that when we go to work, right? We go to work, we go for a paycheck, and then we spend that paycheck, and then we go to work for a paycheck, and then we spend that paycheck, and we go to work for that paycheck. Just a normal cycle, right? And in many of our minds, we've been taught and conditioned that when we hit 65, we can finally retire. Thank God. But getting out of the rat race, learning about passive income and learning about assets, these things will greatly accelerate your path to financial freedom. So this game is kind of a fun way just to support what that process looks like. So the game itself, it teaches you about how to invest in stocks and real estate. This is not about, it doesn't go through all the details of how you're actually watching stock market trends and all that kind of stuff and how to analyze deals and things like that. It's really more broad and conceptual, but it's just a good mindset game. So really, like I said, it's centered around assets and liabilities, and it really focuses on how do you generate passive income and then also business income. So that's another wealth building tool. But basically, the basic premise of the game, you kind of start out with a career, right? So funny, my career that I picked was engineer, and those of you who know me know that I am a graduate of North Carolina A&T State University here. The Celebration Bowl champs, 3-time national champions, all that kind of good stuff, Aggie Pride. But again, they are the #1 producer of engineers amongst all HBCUs. But again, I digress. But anyway, Aggie Pride. So here you start the game out and you pick a card, right? So here on this card, it tells you what your salary is right here, right? And then you drop down to what your expenses are. Might be your mortgage, a student loan, car payment, credit card payments, et cetera, et cetera. And then you come down here over on this side. This is where your assets are. You're really trying to gain more of these, right? And then over here, these are your liabilities, right? You see there's a lot more liabilities. So it says here, I've got a mortgage, a loan, a car loan, and I got a credit card, right? And then every single month over here in the expense column, I am paying for those things. So the rat race is basically what happens when we have to go to work every day to maintain our liabilities, right? And the expenses that come along with them. So expenses are what it takes to maintain these liabilities. But when I generate assets on this side, rather assets, my income goes up. See, I'm struggling with the cards here, but my income actually goes up, right? So the whole purpose of the game is to keep acquiring assets so that your income goes up. So as you work your way kind of around the board, what happens is you have life events, right? It's kind of a mix of the game of life and the game of Monopoly, but just very realistic, right? And very much more tangible and usable, and I think a lot more fun too. So sometimes you're going around the board, you're traveling around the rat race, and it kind of has just this circular area on the game board. And I'll probably try to put a screenshot of it or something like that. But as you're traveling around, you land on different opportunities, right? So one of the opportunities is a doodad, right? So what a doodad is stuff you buy, liabilities that you purchase that don't really do anything for you. So this particular doodad says big screen TV. Take out a loan if you must. Now, don't take out a loan to buy a big screen TV, but literally the game is worked out that way. So it says pay $2,500. You have life events like having children, kidneys, braces, things like that. But then you also have deals, right? So in deals, it might say, okay, you come across this 2 bedroom, 1 bath condo, et cetera, et cetera. Here's the cash flow. You can invest in it, and it actually goes to the deals. And you have to make a decision on whether or not that's a good deal or a bad deal. There's things like stock market options where the stock price may be $10 a share. Typically trades between 10 and 40. And then later in the game, you have an opportunity to sell it at $40 a share, right? So it just teaches you about the whole concept of, market cycles and things like that. So as you look at the game, right, it just goes through the premise of generating assets and minimizing liabilities, and that's really what we're trying to do out here in wealth building. So as you do it, as you gain more assets and as you gain more assets, your income goes up because of dividend payments, because of cash flow from real estate deals, things of that nature, from selling things and whatnot. Right, you're able to really knock down your liability. So once your income um, exceeds, so on my card, for example, my income as an engineer, my salary was $4,900. So once my asset amounts exceed that $4,900, so in other words, if I'm making $4,900 as my career as an engineer, but then my assets between cash flow, between um, dividends from my stocks and mutual funds, once they exceed that amount of $4,900, I am now out of the rat race, which is considered financially free. So the game just kind of takes you through that process and methodology. You're trying to avoid doodads, right? You're trying to avoid big screen TVs. You're trying to avoid, taking a last minute trip to the Bahamas, which is going to be fantastic and a lot of fun. It's going to cost you a lot of money versus kind of waiting and looking at delayed gratification. Once I'm out of the rat race, I can now take that trip and not, be in a much better place. So once you get out of the rat race, you actually go to a whole nother tier in the game, which is kind of supercharged, where you're buying businesses and things like that, things that can really make you a lot of money. So and that's really kind of the whole gist of the game. So the first stage of the game is getting out of the rat race, which many of us find ourselves stuck in because we're so busy buying doodads, because we're so busy adding liabilities instead of adding assets and things of that nature. But fantastic game. I think you'll love it. It's well worth the money. If you're in my area, hey, you want to hook up with me and play sometime, give me a shout. I love to play with you. I love to have a cash flow game night or whatever the case might be. And the nice part about it, all of the math, they got an app. It does it for you. So you literally, it's pretty user friendly. And like I said, my 9-year-old can play the game. So any and everyone can play it. But I would encourage you to pick it up. It's been a fantastic game for me, and my kids have learned a lot through playing it. And I think you would stand to learn a lot and enjoy it at the same time. Just kind of shift your mindset a little bit. So I hope you pick it up. And like I said, if you got any comments, you got any questions, make sure you put them down in the comment section, and we'll get them addressed and get them answered for you. That's all I have for you on this video. Can't wait to bring you more content. Remember to like and subscribe to our page. We're going to constantly be bringing you new content to help you in your journey. Until the next time, God bless. This is Marseille, aka the Property Pastor, signing off.